fun topic. We have looked at the history of the Kentucky Derby, and there is one bet in particular that gives you a chance to make $100,000 according to this historical data. Thanks to our friend Eric Bialik for helping us pull it together. JK, tell us about this bet.
Yeah, to me, it's the super high five, right? The super high five, you want to get the exact order of finish 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's various ways you can play this. You can box it, you can wheel it. But to me, it's 100% the super high five that gives you the best chance, especially if favorites still run in the number.
You talked about boxing this bet. It is expensive. It can be done. If you just were to box 5 horses for this bet, the math of that comes down to $120 for 5 horses, which, hey, depending on your wagering personality and given the chance for a reward, maybe that's something you want to consider. Beyond that, those costs go up exponentially. So I would be very, very careful. And really, I think like with so many bets, JK, boxing, there's always a more efficient way to do it. In terms of wagering strategy, how would you personally want to approach a bet like this super high five?
Yeah, without trying to get too much into a rabbit hole, I would try to construct my ticket with like that wheel strategy where you're using various horses in various spots. You can put, the likely contenders as the first spot. You can put some more long shots in second and third. And then you can play around with reversing that, having the long shots on top with the likely horses in second and so on and so forth. You want to kind of construct a more efficient ticket rather than just boxing. But if for you, boxing works, it's not a problem because the reward of this wager can be so high if you can get those long shots winning the race or running second and third.
You mentioned about the rabbit hole. We'll put in the comments of this video a much more detailed analysis of the math of the super high five that might help you construct some tickets. If you're interested, go and look there. You mentioned wheeling. Also something that can get very expensive in a 20-horse field. But there's also the part wheel, where you can basically just isolate into having, say, 2 keys. Maybe you like journalism and sovereignty, and then you find 5 contender-type horses to go with them, and maybe you can move those numbers through your tickets. You have a chance for not that much money to at least give yourself an opportunity for an outsized reward. I know, JK, you've actually had the experience of walking out of Churchill Downs with $100,000 in your pocket. When it comes to this year, get into some specifics for us. Who are the horses who would be on your super high five tickets?
Yeah, some of the horses that I would consider if trying to get this super high five to pay really well are horses like the 3 Final Gambit, the 9 Burnham Square, who might be a little bit shorter but can still be a little bit ignored there. A horse like Publisher, a horse like Flying Mohawk, Grande. These are all horses that I think can kind of help spice up that super high five. Whether you have them on top, getting them in second and third can be equally as valuable. I wouldn't make the mistake of thinking being very spready in fourth and fifth. I would try to get those spready picks in the second and third spot. When you can get those big long shots in there, it can really help with an outsized payout.
That's a great point. We saw that in the data that Eric Bialik generated. Favorites running fourth and fifth still kind of pay like long shots because there's such a mentality to spread in those spots. And flip side of that same coin, the long shots give you so much more value when you can get one of them in a first spot or a second spot. The only years it hasn't paid is when it's basically 4 out of 5 favorites up there. And even those payouts can be surprisingly good. This is a really interesting pond in which to fish for value in sort of a contrarian way. You'd think it's so difficult. Maybe it's not a place you want to go. It can be a place to go. And if these prices for the tickets that you're looking at are too expensive, consider playing this one with partners. How fun is that when you can share in success with your friends and bet responsibly for this year's Kentucky Derby? There you have it. That's our thoughts on how to make $100,000 at this year's Kentucky Derby. Make sure you subscribe to the In the Money Media YouTube channel. Let us know in the comments who your key horses are going to be in this super high five.